So, Money Matters started as the most basic idea imaginable. People to feel what investing decisions actually feel like and not just hear about them. So I made a game. Spreadsheets first, then the proper game elements. Plan was quick. It was small. Run the sessions, help people understand risk and returns, a way that actually sticks, and then have meaningful conversations from then on out. It was meant as a way to get in touch with people that I haven't met before and get them interested in my advisory business. At least that was what I thought. What else did I actually think it was going to be? Genuinely thought it would have stayed simple and small. But that's the thing. With everything in life, once you start something, one thing leads to another. Game started working. We ran several sessions and found that people responded to it differently than any similar seminar or slide decks. What I then realized was Money Matters isn't just an education or payment segment, it was a conversation starter, a credibility builder, and a path that opened up new avenues. And then a university came into the picture, proper institutional conversation, the classroom session, something bigger. Then the content plans started shifting around it, the channel, the LinkedIn posts, the reels, everything started cascading, gravitating towards. But at some point, I sat here thinking, this isn't just a small educational tool. I hadn't planned any of this. In fact, I just been going on with the flow. One thing led to another, and the more it grew, the more I started seeing what it could actually become. Firstly, an experiential platform. Secondly, a lead generation tool, career platform. And finally, a proper financial literacy framework in the educational, in the edutainment form. Excuse me. So that leads me to think, was I building this on purpose? Was it building itself? And that's when things started getting complicated. See, I had some conversations with some close friends recently. I'm not pretend that it was comfortable. Though they didn't attack Money Matters directly, nor did they say it was a bad idea, but they did ask a question I haven't been able to shake since. And the question, if I could summarize it in a few words, was this: you building something real, or are you building something to avoid doing the harder work? Because the harder work, it seems, which is also the proven fundamentals, is just prospecting, making cold calls, calling the prospect that I didn't want to call or was afraid of calling, building the client base, doing the unglamorous parts of the advisory business. But I chose to stay here and build the game, creating content, designing scenarios, running pilot sessions, which looks like productivity, which feels like progress. But is it really? So am I creating or am I hiding? This is something that until today, I still have yet to find the answers to. And on top of all that, there are other things that, as part of life, it adds to the stress. Sometimes the portfolio is not working well. Sometimes you don't get enough sleep. Sometimes your mental load is spread across a few different areas. your business, kids, your family, and it all weighs on myself actually. And I understand that now better than before that stress is a very real thing, and doubt is also a very real thing. Of course, in my previous documentaries and my previous blogs, I do always talk about reflections and how I look for performance and edge in the CFD markets. But now I'm taking on a very different animal in terms of taking risk because I'm building something unknown and there's no one to guide me in it. So how long have I been carrying this without naming it? Because when my close friends ask me those questions, it doesn't feel like a business challenge anymore. It felt very personal because the honest answer, the one that I'm still sitting around with is I don't know. I don't know whether money matters is the most important thing that I'm building, or it may be the most elaborate distraction I've ever constructed. Or maybe it's both. And I genuinely don't know which one it is yet. So today is Sunday, and it's the end of the week, it's the beginning of the week, the new week. It's whatever way you want it to be, right? And that was something that happened yesterday. Um, when my boys are at home, I've got three boys, and they're playing. They're with the elder brother, the middle brother, and the younger brother. All three boys, right? Full at it, full send, full commit. And I'm sitting on the side on my phone, thinking about my agency. I'm thinking about the tried and trusted path. I'm thinking about my pilot coming up next week. And in that one moment, the old me would have continued just isolating myself away from boys. But yesterday I chose to put the phone down. Not because I figured anything out, just because they were there and I was there. And that was enough for me to release. What happened in the evening was I had the best sleep I had all week. Um, Proper, the kind of sleep that only happens when you allow yourself, your body actually allows you to sleep. And I'm grateful that I did have it because it's quite it's something that hasn't happened very much recently. And good quality sleep, like when you do get it, you kind of do miss it the days that it come. So it's just a bit of a reflection to think about, like, what does this say about where I am now? That most peaceful moment of my week was to sit down and build Jenga with my boys. Just let time pass. Just be. So now, where am I today? I still believe in money matters. That hasn't changed. I think I've been building for the best part of 6 months now. And we're going to continue to do it until the end of the year. See where it grows. I still believe in the way that we teach literacy, webinar, slides, passive learning. But that is missing something important. I also do understand that the experience of my close friends are also valid. The game doesn't purely, but it might create a better opportunity to do the work. Next week is my first proper pilot with Money Matters Portfolio Edition, with real industry participants, with real scenarios and real pressure. We've made it slightly more technical. And I'll be watching not just how the people respond to the game, but I'll be watching whether this thing actually becomes useful in the long term, or whether I've completely lost the plot. So that's it. That's what I want to recap and reflect on this week's Road to Better Decisions action recaps. Um, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough restart, but I can say that I can feel more energized than before. Kind of like today, like I'm supposed to be doing a proper video and cut with different scenes and everything through my phone. I ended up just doing a live call here, live recording here in front of the PC, being in my journal style, and we're just gonna upload this as a full video on lots of YouTube. So that's it from me, Kenny. Lots of growth. We're moving in new directions now. It's not just me versus me. Not just that. It's still part of the channel, but I want to be talking about the roads to better decisions. And that decision is something I consider family, for health, or for growth. See you guys in the next one.